All right, so in this video, I'm going to be explaining the economics behind the VSL funnel or the video sales letter funnel or the book a call funnel, the mini webinar funnel, whichever way you want to call it. I'll be explaining the numbers and the math behind the funnel and why it works so well, why it's so effective, and why it is still the number one sales funnel to start with if you are even if you're an online coach looking to start, or if you're an online coach looking to scale, because it's one of the most simple funnels to create, but it also produces a huge amount of return on the ad spend as quickly as possible. So I'll quickly run through the funnel, what it is, and then I'll talk about the math behind it. So a lot of you, if you're watching this video, you probably understand what a VSL is, or a video sales letter funnel is, but it's essentially a way for us to quickly get people to book in a phone call or a sales call with us or our company to inquire about our high ticket coaching program, and then you can sell them over the phone. So this is the general flow of the funnel. So you will have some form of, obviously you'll have ad spend, and then you will put that ad spend into an advertising platform. For the most people, it's going to be either YouTube ads or Facebook ads. Those ads are going to send people to a landing page. On this landing page is basically going to ask them to opt in with the email address to get more information. So they're going to opt in to get more information, and they're going to land on another page, which we call the video page. On the video page is going to be where your VSL is, or your video sales letter. It's basically a fancy way of saying a sales video. So there is going to be a video that explains more about you, your company, what you do, who you help, how you help them, what your offer is, and what they need to do in order to get more information. That's essentially what the VSL does. So it's a video that you pre-record that basically sells your service. At the end of this video, you're going to say, hey, if you want more information, if you want to apply, if you want to buy, depending which way you want to frame it, all you need to do is book in a call. So then on the next page, they're basically going to be able to book a call with yourself. And that's when they get on the call, like I said, with yourself, or if you have a sales team, they will get on a call with your sales team. Then your sales team will do their best to convert them and close them as a client. And as long as you do this properly and effectively, then this should produce a nice little bit of profit. So I'll talk about the conversion numbers on the funnel and what you should aim for. And then we'll start to run through a few different scenarios of like the profit that you could experience. So we'll tackle these numbers in the middle here that are in bold. So these are the conversion numbers on the funnel itself. So the amount of people who click your ad and then opt in on your landing page, you should be aiming for around 30%. If your targeting is correct, if your ad speaks to the pains and the frustrations and the desires of your ideal audience effectively enough, you should get around a 30% conversion on this page. And again, the landing page needs to reiterate those pains, frustrations, the connection points with your customer. Industry average is around 20 to 25%, but average sucks and you don't want to be average. So you at least want to aim for around 30% conversion on this page. Now, once someone opts in, the way this funnel is set up is that once someone gives their name and email address, they're going to automatically watch this video because they're going to land on that page. It's going to send them directly to the page with the video on it. So that's why this is 100%, because 100% of people who opt in with their email address will land on this video page. So you can't really affect this. So it's going to stay at 100%. Now this number is how many people who actually watch the video, how many of them actually book a call. So out of 100 people, how many people actually book in on the calendar of yourself or your sales team. Now, what you really want to do is get this to around 10%, which means you want around 1 in 10 people who watch this video will actually book a call. You can still be actually super profitable depending on your niche and who you help. This number is going to fluctuate a tiny bit. So for example, if you're in a really competitive industry, say for example, you're teaching people how to grow an e-commerce business, or you're teaching people how to grow a coaching business, then this number is probably going to be a bit lower. It's probably going to be closer to 5% because the audience is more jaded, there's more competition, and they've got lots of different options, right? So you're not the only one providing a solution. We have one client right now that is running this funnel, and they're getting around a 20% opt-in rate from this funnel because they help lawyers grow their law firm. And it's actually a done-for-you service as well. So it's not even just a coaching offer, it's a done-for-you service, which is obviously more of a compelling offer because they do all the work for you. And it's for a very specific niche. At one point, they were just targeting personal injury lawyers, right? So there's not many people in the marketplace who have that offer. So therefore, the customers were more targeted, they have less options, they are less jaded, and we could be really specific with the copy on how we speak to the audience. So this had a huge conversion rate. It was around 20%, which is crazy high number. But for now, let's just keep it at, let's just put it in the middle, 7.5% or 8% if it rounds up. Then this number here is the conversion rate between how many people book a call and how many actually close into a client. Now, there is going to be some no-shows. So there are going to be some people, obviously, who book a call and then don't show up for the call. And this number is taking into account that no-show rate. So let's just say you should really be aiming for at least a 10% close rate, including no-shows. So that means out of the 10 people that book a call, you close at least one sale. And again, if you have a strong closer, you can get more. We have clients who are closing around 33% of the calls booked. We have some clients who are closing, 15, 10%. Depends on the offer, your industry, and how good you are at sales, of course. And then obviously when they close, that'll be determine the profit. So that's kind of the general, this is what would be hygiene standard for us if we were creating this for a client. We want to do more than this, and we generally do better numbers than this, but this would be hygiene standard. If you wanted to go a bit lower, you could, put that to 25% conversion rate on the landing page. That is what we would want to basically aim for. And if you can do this yourself and achieve these numbers, you're still going to be super profitable. And let me explain why. The reason why you can be so profitable with this type of funnel is because of the lifetime value, right? So this funnel, because you're selling over the phone, you can actually sell an extremely expensive service. So if you're an agency like us, and our lifetime value of clients is, tens of thousands of dollars, then it means that we can spend a lot of money on ads because we know our client could be worth $20, $30, $40, $50, $60, $70,000 to us over the course of our contract. Now, not everyone has an agency, so let's say for a high-ticket coaching program, you can sell your high-ticket coaching program from anywhere between, $3,000 to $12,000. People do more, but that's probably average for high-ticket coaching / masterminds, anywhere from $3,000 to $12,000. And because you're charging such a high price, and I'll show you an example of, as we run through some numbers in a second here, you can actually get incredible profitability from this funnel. For this example, we're going to kind of go in the middle and just say you charge $6,000 for your high ticket coaching program, right? Now let's just run through the math. Let's say you spend $2,000 on ads in your first month, right? And I'll show you how this can be really profitable. So you've got $2,000 budgeted for your ad spend for the first month, which It's fairly low. It's not crazy high. It's pretty modest to start with. You're going to spend $2,000. Depending on the platform, depending on the offer and the niche, again, these numbers can fluctuate a tiny bit. Let's just say the average cost per click on the platform is $2. So what that means is that you're going to get 1,000 clicks for $2,000 in ad spend, right? $2,000 spent, 1,000 clicks means the cost per click was $2. So you've spent 2,000, you've got 1,000 clicks. If our landing page converts at 25%, that's a quarter. So that means a quarter / 25% of these people are going to put their name and email address on the funnel, in the funnel. So 25% of 1,000 is obviously 250. So we've got 250 email leads, and this is a calculated spreadsheet. So you can see here that now our cost per lead is $8. So we spent 2,000, we got 250 leads. That means our cost per lead is $8. Again, you can be profitable with leads that are $8. We like to get it below $5 or around $5 for our clients, but you can still be profitable with $8 leads. Now, obviously, 100% of people watch the video, because as soon as you opt in with your name and email address, you land on the video page. So the leads and the views stay exactly the same. The cost per view stays exactly the same, right? So 250 people have the opportunity to watch the video. Now, we currently have a 8% conversion rate on the video, which means 8% of the people who watch or have the opportunity to watch the video page book a call, right? So 8% of 250 is 18.75 people, right? Which means out of the 250 people, we will book 18 calls. That means our cost per call scheduled is around, $100, $107 to be exact, right? And you can just see that by dividing the total. So our cost per call is around $100. Again, if you're getting calls booked for around $100, you can be extremely profitable with this funnel. Most of the big internet marketers, if they can they're like jumping up and down for joy if they can get calls booked for $100 from cold traffic. For us, for our clients, again, it does depend on the niche. We have a lot of our clients right now actually getting below 100. We like to get it around 50 to 100. That's the sweet spot for us. We do have some clients that is actually more expensive than that, around $200 to $300. But again, they're more in like niche specific industries, so it's just going to cost more because there's less customers. So you want to try and aim for around like $100 cost per call. Again, even if you're up to $200, you can still be super profitable, and we'll show you some examples of that. So you've got 18 calls and you close 10% of the calls, which means you're going to close 1.88, right? Obviously, this isn't exact math, but because it's just calculations. So if you schedule 18 calls, you're going to close 1.8 of those calls. You could round this up to 20 and say that you're going to close 2 clients from it, right? Which means you're going to get, maybe we can do that. Does that make a difference? No. We'll just leave it. So that means our CPA, which is cost per acquisition, so how much are we spending to acquire a customer? Well, we're spending just over $1,000. If we spend $2,000 and we get 1.88 people, if we make 1.88 sales, that means we spend 1,067 to get a customer. Again, if you were to round this up, say this was 2 clients, you spend $2,000, you get 2 clients, that means your CPA would be $1,000 each, which is essentially what this is saying. So if your CPA, if it costs you $1,000 to get a customer, that means if you collect for every customer more than $1,000, then you are going to be profitable with this funnel. Now, we just said before that our lifetime value is actually $6,000. So it's costing us $1,000 to get a customer, which for some of you might be like, shit, I need to spend $1,000 to get one customer. But if your customer pays you $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, then you're obviously going to be super profitable. And in this scenario, we've closed 2 clients or 1.88 clients. Lifetime value is $6,000, which means the revenue is $11,250. If it was 2 clients, then it would be $12,000. And our profit is obviously the revenue, take away the initial ad spend, which means you've profited $9,000 on this funnel, which means an ROI of 5.63, which is incredible. Like for, again, most of the big internet marketers who are supposed to be these like ad gurus, if they get 2 to 3 times ROI, again, they're jumping for joy. At scale where you're spending, $100,000, $500,000 a month on advertising, if you get like a 2x, a 2 ROI, then you will be very happy. Again, we have some clients that are doing like 10 to 15. It's a bit of a lower scale though. But if you're going really high up, then, if you're getting a 2 to 3 times return on ROI on your cold advertising to cold traffic, then you're going to be very happy. But this is just how obviously like the economics work. And this is why it's so profitable, because these customers are worth so much money. We can spend a lot of money to acquire them. And $1,000 isn't even that much. Now, let's change this up a tiny bit here. So let's say the paid advertising became more expensive. Let's say, for example, this changed, our cost per click was $4, which meant instead of getting 1,000 clicks, we now got 500, right? We spent $2,000. Facebook decided to increase its prices, and our average cost per click was $4, right? This is pretty high for a cost per click, but let's just play worst case scenario here. That means we only get 500 clicks. And then if we run through the funnel, 125 leads, 125 people view the video, 9.3 people schedule. It means we're going to essentially close, 1 client with these numbers. But again, even if our CPA is $2,000, as long as our lifetime value is higher than that, then it's going to be profitable. So even like in a worst case scenario where like the cost per click is really, really high, we can actually still double our money with the ads because we're spending $2,000. We're getting at least 1 client, right? 0.94, but rounded up to 1. And that client is worth 6,000. So we spend 2,000, we get 6,000 back. We've essentially made, a profit of $4,000, right? So we're more than doubling what we spend. Now, if we go back to this scenario, we'll just make it a bit more realistic from the ad point of view, because you should really be getting clicks for around $2. Like you shouldn't be getting clicks for more expensive than this, unless again, you're in like a really weird niche. But let's say, for example, you're a beginner and you're not very good at building a funnel. And these metrics, you're actually below the average. So let's say this only converts at 20%. Let's say this only converts at 5%. And we can, let's just say 7.5. I want to try and get 1 client at least. So we'll keep that at 10. There we go. So again, 1 in 10 is still pretty low. But let's just say you're not very good at creating your landing page, so it only converts at 20%. Let's just say your video, your sales video, the VSL isn't that good, so it only converts at 5%. And you can see, 1 in 10 close rate, which, most people should aim for like a 20% close rate. But again, you see with these numbers, $2,000 in, 10 calls booked, means you're going to close 1 client, CPA is 2,000. But again, you've got 6,000 back, and then your profit is 4K. But even if you wanted to like start off, at a lower price point, you're still making a $1,000 profit. So again, these aren't the ideal metrics, but would you spend $2,000 to get $3,000 back? Well, yes. I mean, if you could spend $2,000 today and you could instantly make $3,000 back, then of course you would do this, right? And if this person is joining a coaching program for 3K, then maybe in 6 months' time you can sell them your even more higher ticket mastermind that might be like $10,000, right? And then obviously that $10,000 is free because you don't have to spend any money on ads to get that customer because they're already a customer. So you can upsell them later on in the process. So even if we ran through like a worst case scenario where your funnel wasn't converting very well, you were selling a cheaper service, you're still making $1,000 per customer. And again, if you had the opportunity to spend $2,000 and the same day or the next day you would make $3,000 back, then of course you would do it. But where it gets exciting is where we actually plug in some bigger and better numbers, which is essentially what we work with our clients with to get these numbers higher. So let's just say overall, let's just say $5K, $1,000 coaching program. Now, like I said, minimum, what we want is a 30% conversion rate on this landing page. For most of our clients, we try and get it up to 35%. 30% is hygiene standard. We want to get it up to 35%. For some of our clients, we've done like 45, 50% conversion rate at scale. Doesn't happen for everyone. But if you can dial in the messaging on your ad and on your landing page and the targeting, then you can get about 35% opt-in. Again, obviously 100% of people watch the video. Now here, we want to get this up to at least 10%. We actually prefer it to be 12.5. That's kind of like the metric we like to hold ourselves to. Again, hygiene standard is 10. What we really want to push is to get it above 12.5, or we wanted to get it to 12.5%. That's ideally what we want. Then, with the close rate, we want to get this as close as possible to 20%. Including no-shows, we want to try and get this up to around a 20% close rate. Even including no-shows, 15% is okay. But really, we want to get it up to 20%. And again, with the same amount of ad spend here, you can see that if we improve, if we do our job correctly for our clients, and we get these numbers across the funnel, you can see how crazy profitable it'll be if they are only selling a 5K coaching program. $2,000 in, 43 calls, 8 or 9 clients. That means a total revenue of $43,000, a profit of $41,000, which means a 21 return on ad spend. And look, let's be realistic. These numbers might not hold well at scale, but let's just say for the next month, we spend $4,000. We double the amount of money we spend, and that will essentially double the amount of clicks that we get. And again, the ROAS stays the same, but obviously the revenue and the profit jumps up. You can essentially, if we double the ad budget, we can essentially double the profit. And that's not even that much for, a month of advertising to spend $4,000. It's really nothing at all. Let's say, for example, we spend $10,000, and that would get us 5,000 clicks. You can see that the numbers start getting real stupid real quick. And again, let's say worst case scenario, this drops to 10%, this drops to 30%. You're still putting 10K in and you're getting nearly 100K back. You're still getting a 9 return on ad spend. And again, this is where like the expertise comes in, because an amateur will do this and an amateur will get 20%, they'll get a 5% conversion, and then maybe this will be like 10%, or maybe it will be at like 7.5, or maybe it'll even be at 5. And this is where people lose money, because it's basically small incremental gains on each step of the funnel can create a huge difference. So your cost per click needs to be dialed in, the landing page conversion needs to be dialed in, and the video page conversion needs to be dialed in, and then the close rate needs to be dialed in as well. If you can just make small increases in all of these metrics, you can turn a funnel from unprofitable to super profitable. So here we're pretty much at break even, right? 10K in, 12K back. Okay, you make 2.5K profit, but this could very easily slip to unprofitable. But when we come in, we do our job properly. In the first month, we take that to a 25%. We take that to a 7.5%. We take this to a 7.5%. We've taken it from barely profitable to making $25,000 profit in the month. And let's say over the next couple of months, we continue to increase the funnel and its effectiveness. So this goes up to 30%, this goes up to 10%, and let's say this goes up to 10%. Again, same funnel, small incremental gains have taken the same budget, the same funnel, the same offer, and we've taken it from making 25K to 65K in a single month. And then that's when we come in with our expertise, we bump it up a tiny bit further, we get this to 12.5, and let's just say we get this to 12.5 as well. We take that from doing, under 100K to over $125,000 profit in a single month. Same ad budget, same offer, same price point, but you can make huge returns. And then we can do lots of stuff to, increase the cost per click, right? That would be one of the things we would come in, create and manage the ads. That means that we get 10,000 clicks now because we're spending $1, and this can essentially obviously double the amount of people that go through the funnel, and it will essentially double the amount of profit. So obviously these are big scary numbers, but that's essentially what we do and how we come in and make these small incremental gains in this funnel process to get the highest conversions possible. So again, not a lot of you watching this video will be able to get numbers like this straight out the gate. But again, even if you start off and start with, industry average percentages, because you're charging so much over the phone, you can still be super profitable with this type of funnel. And again, you could probably just charge more money as well. That's like a simple thing to do. If it's not profitable, just charge a couple of $1,000s more, and that should bump it up into profitability.